Ranbir Kapoor, the actor we all love since his first film Sawaria, even though he didn't have the best of the debuts like Hrithik Roshan, but he certainly left a mark by his acting. The movie didn't do that well because it had competition with other movies, but Ranbir Kapoor, he was surely here to rule Bollywood. So we've seen all of his lovely movies, and this year we've witnessed movies like Shamshera, Brahmastra, lately Tu Jhoti Main Makkar, which came out in 2023. The other two movies came out in 2022. Lately, the movies have created the buzz before the release, but after the release or during the release, they have lost its charm. They didn't do as well as his other movies like Sanju or the cult created by Rockstar or even Tamasha, which financially didn't work, but it became a massive cult among the youth. And then movies like Barfi, Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, Wake Up Sid. You have so many films like him of Ranbir Kapoor's that resonate with the youth and with the Indian audience. Shamshera, Brahmastra, and Tu Jhoti Main Makkar were big budget movies, highly anticipated, but they didn't do as well as expected. Tu Jhoti Main Makkar seemed like a home run, just like Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, but it failed to create the same magic and impact. His next film, and the only film he has so far right now, he hasn't signed any other movies after that, is Animal. That's what we're going to talk about in this episode about Ranbir Kapoor's Animal, based on the creative, technical, and financial factors and the marketing factors on whether that movie will be a hit or a miss. So let's begin. The cast of An Animal was announced a couple of years ago with Ranbir Kapoor, Anil Kapoor sir, Bobby Deol. Initially, it was Pariniti Chopra as the main lead actress, but it was changed with replaced with Rashmika Mandana. Then you had a few other supporting cast, but it's the director is Sandeep Reddy Vanga, who has made Arjun Reddy and Kabir Singh. Both of his films, his first initial debut films in Telugu cinema and in Hindi cinema, were a massive hit. Sandeep Reddy Vanga, with his explosive interviews as well, became well known among the audience, and people said that he pretty much is a walking, talking Arjun Reddy / Kabir Singh himself. So that's a little bit about the director. This is the main cast. This is the film. It's going to be releasing on 11th of August. We've only seen the pre-teaser. We're waiting for the teaser and the trailer soon. So let's begin with the film of what we know so far. It's a gangster-based film, a family drama, which is about a wealthy family, and it's a gangster genre film. That's all we know about the story so far. And Ranbir Kapoor is playing the son of Anil Kapoor sir. That's it. That's all we know. We have no idea what else the story is. But because it's a gangster story, you can pretty much get an idea that it's probably going to have revenge. It's going to have a rivalry with families, multiple gangster families. There could be family relationships that got broken up. There could be some conflict similar to that. But so far from the pre-teaser, what I can tell so far is the fact that Ranbir Kapoor seems like someone, he has multiple looks, by the way, in the movie. He has clean shaven, then he has mild beard, then he has long hair and beard. The reason is because he becomes violent and gets sucked into this gangster world with time. And judging by the title announcement they had and the pre-teaser right now, it seems like he got sucked into it without a choice, and probably has to do something with his father. So the story that I'm guessing is probably that Ranbir Kapoor's father had done some actions or some events happened with Anil Kapoor that left a mark, and Anil Kapoor probably passes away in the middle of the movie, and that's going to be the turning point where Ranbir Kapoor has to either take over the family business of the gangster mafia business, or he has to avenge whoever did something wrong for Anil Kapoor, or he has to pay the price for what his father did wrong. These are the three things that I see the conflict between his father, him, and the world that he's in. So this is what so far we know from the pre-teaser and the title announcement. We discussed the casting. It's been shot extensively in different parts of India, in mountains and stuff, and I think Manali, if I'm not mistaken. Also, the movie is going to be very violent, and we don't know to what extent the violence could be. Is it meaningful, or is it just for the sake of it, for the purpose of just bloody violence? So we discussed the casting, we discussed what could be the potential story, and we discussed the genre, and we discussed the director. Now we have to go to the factors of a budget. It's probably a high budget movie. It's been made over the past 2 or 3 years. I am assuming the budget is going to be about 200 crores because Ranbir Kapoor himself charges about like 70, 80. The production, the cost, the costume, and the marketing will happen, and all of the other actors are quite A-listers as well. I would say it's probably a 200 crore film and very expensive movie. But the way the movie seems and the genre of gangster, which is usually loved, and if it's even mildly well written, the film could work. I think it could really be a game changer for Ranbir Kapoor after a few films that didn't leave an impact as much as it should have, or as much as what was expected from a Ranbir Kapoor movie. So if we go and analyze what the movie could do, judging by the genre, the director, and the cast, and so far what we've seen with the teaser and the pre-teaser and the title announcement, it seems like the movie could work. But the biggest drawback that the movie has is the director could face massive backlash, as it did for movies like Kabir and Reddy. And this day and age, if you have even a minor controversy with any of the person related to the film, whether it's an actor or writer or director or producer or anything related to the film, it could work very much against it. Pathaan worked because the controversy was artificially created by the public. It wasn't as big of a deal. But here, and the movie didn't have anything offensive either, but here, we don't know if the director actually pushes his limits with the violence or certain male dominant characters that he does, and the way he writes his female characters as well. We don't know how the people could perceive him. And it's a massive budget as well. Lots of expectations riding from this film, the director and the actor. The biggest drawback is going to be the release date. It's going to have a movie like Gadar 2 releasing alongside and OMG 2 releasing alongside. Although it's going to be a long weekend, the Independence Day weekend on that time period. But even if there's a slight controversy around the movie and the movie isn't as good as expected, or has meaningless violence rather than violence that actually makes sense in the movie and the story, it could be another big flop. It could just crash and burn because Gadar 2 is gonna have so much nostalgia attached to it. Gadar 2 has so much past fans, people eager to see the story move forward, Sunny Deol fans, and the first one was loved. And if Gadar 2 is even made mildly okay, it could probably have a higher chance of making money because it seems like a less than 100 crore film. There's not a huge extensive cost, very expensive cost. I don't think Sunny Deol charges a lot. The son of Sunny Deol and Amisha Patel is played by the director's own son itself. So it's a launching pad for him. He's probably not charged for itself. And the director himself is also the producer, I think. And judging by the way the Gadar 2 seems, it's probably a less than 100 crore film, probably like say 70 odd. So if it has good music, if it has a decent story and some memorable dialogues, if it doesn't have controversy attached to it with certain dialogues or whatever, it's a home run for the audience. I think even though it's going to be a little outdated, the story, because the first one came out so long ago, but that movie could work because of its low budget and nostalgia attached to it. That's it. And I'm only going over this movie because that is the movie being released alongside a film like Animal, which has lots of expectations riding, a huge budget, potential massive controversies involved. We haven't even seen the teaser yet, but the pre-teaser itself had so much violence and gore and blood. Look, I love those kinds of films as long as the violence makes sense in the movie. I don't like when they put it deliberately just to call it a violent movie. It has to make sense. For example, Gangs of Wasseypur makes sense. That's the story of the movie, and it was not excessive violence, it was realistic violence in the movie. So nobody called it, oh, it's a very, very violent film. People just enjoyed it. That's what I'm expecting from a movie like Animal. I hope to God the director of Animal doesn't do it to show like a vendetta, like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do now, what are you going to do about it? Because when people asked him what his next movie is going to be, is it going to be less controversial? It was during Kabir Singh, you can see in the interview, you can YouTube it, they asked him, what is your next film going to be about? Is it going to be less controversial than the current film? Kabir Singh, he said, it's actually going to be more. They said, why? He said, because they called my movie violent. Kabir Singh was a violent film and I took it personally. I'm going to show them what real violence is in a film. So if he's going to operate that with the way of, I'm going to show you, I hope that doesn't get involved into the creative decisions he had to take with the movie, because honestly, Ranbir Kapoor's previous 3 films have not been up to the mark. And we don't know what he's going to do in the future after that. And his movies are usually big budget as well, minimum 150 to 200 crores. So if there's the director's ego involved, could be massively controversial, huge budget, and a tough competition like other two, it could be a big miss. I'm hoping it's a hit. My final decision would be that I'll make a video on that once the trailer and the teaser and everything's come out and it'll be closer to the release date. Then I will give more an in-depth analysis of the movie, whether it will work or not. But so far, judging by what we know, it's a bit, they have to be very careful if they wanted to really make it work, because there's tough competition with the other two. I don't think Orange 2 even counts. I don't think that's the movie that's gonna work in this day and time of age of the current climate in the country and the way people think. The first movie, if it was released again, I don't think it would have worked either. So the sequel over here with starring Akshay Kumar, I'm not sure that has a lot of bright future for that film. I can already tell you that. It's controversies are created like this, and once the controversies there, either it works in the favor like a lot or it's rubbish, just like what we saw with Adipurush. So OMG 2 is probably not even in the competition. Gadar 2 seems like it's gonna really win it. They'll have to do something really bad to make the movie not work. And Animal, if they're just a little bit more careful and they market it well, they don't make controversial statements before the release. The director has to be careful. His personality is very eccentric and outspoken. He has to be very careful and operate when the movie is being marketed and when the movie is being edited. That's it. I think the movie can still be done because he's a very capable director and a writer. So that's my final verdict. They just have to be careful. Gadar 2, just don't mess it up big time. That's it. So that's it from today's episode, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you do enjoy the episode, do press the like button and subscribe to my channel. Do not forget to smash that bell icon as hard as you can so that you can get instantly notified whenever I upload a new video. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Keep watching films.